Yeah.
Go.
I was born and raised in Hopkins, South Carolina. I was raised by my grandparents, my grandfather, my grandmother, and they raised me. I went to school in Hopkins, South Carolina, and I was there until I graduated. And I came to New Jersey, where my father was, or where my father is, and I've been here in New Jersey ever since. I've been a hoodlum in my young life, and as I got older, I started to recognize what I should be doing, and also was told about what I should be doing and not doing. And it all made a difference in my life. I ended up going to school in Hopkins, South Carolina. And I was there until I graduated. Then I came to New Jersey. And this is where my father was. And I've been here in New Jersey ever since. I have a wife, 2 kids, and I used to have a wonderful job until I got to this age. And today I still feel good. I'm still active in my life today. You know, I do things, and I do things in my church. As a matter of fact, I'm a part of the church, you know. And today, I am really grateful and thankful for where I am today, because there was a time when I wasn't doing so well mentally, you know, because I'd gotten used to a little alcohol, and that turns you into something else until I was smart enough to stop doing all of that, you know. And today, I'm living a life that's worth living, you know. My wife and I, my kids, I have a granddaughter and a grandson, and they're all grown, and it's just a wife and I in the house today, you know. And when the weather's nice, I go out. When it's not, I'm in the house. And really, I'm thankful and I'm grateful for where I am today. And God bless you. I hope you guys heard what I said. Thank you.
Mm. So you said you grew up in Hopkins, South Carolina, which your grandparents raised you.
Yeah.
Was there so that was your father's mother?
Yes. My father left home early in life, and he was here in New Jersey. So I was with my grandmother until I got old enough to leave home.
Was his name Henry Richardson too? Was he Henry?
No, James.
He was James Richardson.
Yeah. And my father also had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, he has 6 kids.
There's a lot of Richardsons in Patterson.
Yeah, a lot of Richardson. I think that was kind of like a popular name in town here for a while.
Richardson?
Yeah. There was so many of them here.
Maybe because of the bar? Everybody went to his bar?
Well, that's true too. Everybody was in his bar. As a matter of fact, I was a part of it also.
How did you end up being in the bar, getting into the bar?
Well, at first I was stealing liquor, and then later on, he started me working in there. And so I was serving alcohol, and was a lover.
Mm.
At least that's what I thought I was anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I've done a lot of things, you know, but I've been blessed not to get into any major trouble or anything like that. A couple of times I got a little trouble with the law because I was speeding, but other than that.
You used to like fast cars.
Yeah, well, I was always showing somebody how I could drive, you know. Had the big shotism. And it just went from one degree to another, you know. But after a period of time, when I did stop drinking, and I started to working and doing the things that I needed to do for myself, and my wife and I have been married now, 50 something?
52 years.
Yeah, I think it's 50.
Might be more.
No, I think it's 54.
Yeah.
Yeah, 54, I think it was. I got to ask you again when we go
Yeah,
out
so
there.
remember I did your anniversary?
Huh?
Remember it was me and Cornelius.
No.
Yeah. It was nice.
There's a lot of things that has happened. But anyway, I became responsible, you know, as far as my action is concerned. And I started to do the things that were necessary.
I ain't in no rush, Henry.
Okay, I worked on the railroad for a while here.
In New Jersey?
In New Jersey, I worked for a long time. And my father, he was into heavy construction. So I worked with him a while too. And it just went on and on. You know, I was able to get a job because of him and the people that he knew. You know, and financially, it really worked out. The only downfall I had was when I became an alcoholic.
Mm.
And I got hooked up there where I kept lying to myself about what I was going to do after this and after that, and nothing ever happened until I was able to recognize that I needed to stop doing what I was doing. Other than that, there's going to be something bad happen for me, you know, because I had drank a lot of alcohol for a long period of time. So that wasn't happening then.
You remember when you had your first drink?
No, I was drinking when I was a teenager.
In Hopkins, South Carolina?
I was stealing from my grandfather.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you did. He used to make moonshine, right?
Yeah, he made and sold it, you know, so I was stealing from him.
So you learned how to make moonshine.
Well, I didn't have to make it, just steal it from him. Oh. Yeah, but he kept, you know, plus he had a man, well, there was some people who were getting rid of alcohol and stuff, and they had that in the neighborhood where different guys were selling liquor.
So your grandfather was a bootlegger?
Yeah, he was a bootlegger, and
your father's father?
Yeah. And it just went on and on and on. But
when you was growing up in Hopkins, South Carolina, was it just you, or was there other people other kids in the house, or was it just you?
It was just me in the house.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
So they spoiled you?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I started off. My grandmother was working in the house in Columbia, and she was doing, you know, whatever had to be done in the house.
Okay.
And she used to take me there with her.
How old were you think?
I think I was about 16, I think. No, I wasn't 16.
No.
I was 18. 18, that's where it started at. But I've done a lot of things, and a whole lot of it was wrong, too.
How did you get the job at the Army base?
There was a guy who was my neighbor.
And what were you doing there?
Making liquor.
You was at the Army base? I thought you was like...
Well, at first, that's the way it was, but I got so, you know, I was like big time. At least I thought I was big time, you know, because stealing and
From the Army base.
yeah. I did a lot of things that I got by with, you know.
And then you say that the word got out that they was going to find out who was taking all the liquor from the
They did
from the
find
Army
out,
base.
but I was blessed. I didn't get caught.
Is that when you came to New Jersey?
No, that wasn't it. I was afraid of a whole lot of other stuff.
Oh,
I
okay.
had a couple of kids down there too,
Oh, okay.
so I left them. My grandmother raised them.
Oh, did she?
Mm.
Your grandmother sounded like she was a very good woman.
She was. I was her toy. She crazy
Henry?
about me.
Henry?
Yeah. They used to call me Baker.
Baker?
Yeah.
How did that name come
I
about?
don't know. That was the name they gave
Baker?
me. Baker. That was just a nickname they give you, I guess. But there was a lot of things I went through that I didn't have to go through.
So was a lot of your father's family living in Hopkins when you was growing up?
Yeah, my grandfather, he was the big time guy.
What do you mean by that?
He sold liquor and
Okay.
all that stuff, you know. And
What do you remember what his name was?
yeah, Robert.
Robert Richardson?
Yeah. Robert Richardson. He was bad too. He's a fighter too.
Oh yeah?
He straightened you out in a minute. I was proud of him on that, you know, because he kept a lot of people off my case too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
So the Richardsons come from Hopkins, South Carolina.
Yeah, Hopkins, South Carolina. As a matter of fact, I was born and raised there.
In Hopkins, South Carolina?
Yeah. There, they took me to I was in the in the yard first, picking cotton.
You used to pick cotton, Henry?
Yeah. I wasn't no ignorant about like that, but I was tall enough to get whatever had to come off the cotton. You know, like when they bale the cotton and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I pull so much, put it in a bag. Pull so much, put it in a bag. I get me a couple of dollars sometimes. Sometimes wouldn't be but $1. Because my grandfather, he was the master of money.
Was he?
Yeah. He loved me. And he made sure I had everything I need. But the kind of money I wanted to have, he held that back, you know, and he took care of a lot of people in the family, financially, you know.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
Did he stay in Hopkins, South Carolina his whole
Yeah.
life?
He was one of the biggest alcoholics in town.
But bootleggers?
Bootlegger, yeah, serving a whole lot of people. As a matter of fact, some stopped before they went to work. Some stopped before they went home. You know, people who had drank. And later on, during the week, when they get their check, they stop him by, drop the cage on him, and pay him off. So he was doing well.
So they used to sell it in like little, like jelly jars.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
it-
jars like that.
Wasn't that stuff like 100 proof?
It was strong, but I didn't look at it that way. I just wanted to get a buzz on, and I got it on too. A lot of times I wind up going to sleep. Then my grandmother got me a car, and I really was tough then, boy. Driving, and
You remember what kind of car it was?
A Chevy.
Wow.
It was, I forgot what it was, 34 or 36, something like that. That's been a long time ago.
Yeah. So it was manual. It had gears. You had to shift.
Yeah.
Did you soup it up?
No, I didn't soup it. I just, all it had, I gave it to her though.
Huh.
But that's about far as I went with it. But I tell you.
So when you was growing up, right? You grew up in a neighborhood where it was like all black people. It was like all blacks.
Yeah, just about all blacks. You know, there was so many blacks here, and over here there was the richer, the white people in that area. Not that close to us, you know.
How did they treat you? How did they treat the black people?
They treated me nice.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because in the beginning, where my grandmother was working at, in this house, she used to take me to work with her because there wasn't nobody at the house to stay with me. But then it went from there to I started drinking a little bit in the house there.
In the white people's house?
Yeah. You know how a thief is.
So they watched you grow up too then?
They didn't know I was as high as I was most of the time. And then there were times when I drank a little bit until I left, got away from there. And once I got away from there, then I drank the rest I had in my pocket. You know. I was a thief too.
So it was started with you. Basically, it was just the drink, and it's not. You just stole alcohol.
I stole it. Well, I started driving down there too.
So you just like basically you would just steal alcohol.
Yeah.
So it was the.
Well, I worked in Fort Jackson also.
So when you say that you was a thief, the only thing that you really stole was the alcohol, right? I mean.
Yeah, I stole alcohol, and if you had some money, you put it down, and.
Oh, okay.
You left the rest in by itself.
Oh, okay.
And I got a chance. I removed it.
Yeah.
You know, I think all young guys, young hoodlums do that.
Well, drinkers, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, when you drink and stuff, you do stuff like that.
And for a long period of time, I got by with it, you know. And then when I came to Jersey, and I was with my father, and he was selling liquor, plus he was working on the heavy-duty machines and stuff like that. He took me with him. I became a truck driver.
So did your grandfather ever come up here?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he was up here when he died.
Oh, he was.
Mm-hmm.
So was it your grandfather that helped your father get his businesses and stuff like that? Like get the bar and the construction companies? Because you said your grandfather.
You know, my grandfather, he had his own thing.
But you said he had money.
Yeah.
So he was able to help your father.
Yeah. I know one other thing that happened though. After a long period of time, you know, you're drinking so much every day, it caught up with him.
Your father or your grandfather?
Grandfather. And my father, he was a lover, and he had kids everywhere. But I was still his toy, so whatever I needed, I wanted, I got it from him, you know.
From your father?
Yeah. I became a lover and a hoodlum and everything around here.
You had a lot of fast friends.
Yeah. Well, that was my ego too, you know. You got any I call them po dogs and stuff. You ain't got any po dog. Here, take this. Man, I just ate that up. But eventually they all caught up with me. I got enough. And I didn't want no more. My wife made a big difference in me too.
Miss Richardson.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, she would wash me and she kept an eye on me. Plus, after so long, alcohol does something to you.
Yeah.
Mentally and physically.
You're absolutely right.
And that's what had happened to me. And I didn't get better until, or start getting better until after I made a decision to give it up. And once I gave it up, it made
You remember you told me that you was coming down Straight Street and I think you said you were speeding.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
you had a seizure and you slammed into the factory or something.
Yeah.
You didn't know what happened.
Well, that was because the alcohol had started catching up with me.
So you start having seizures.
Yeah. And alcohol seizures is something else, boy, I tell you. You don't remember what you did. If you think, even when you think you remember, you're not sure whether you did or didn't. But that's what alcohol will do for you.
And how often would you have seizures?
Anytime I got a hold of some money from somebody, whether I stole it from home or whatever, eventually it started catching up with me, you know.
Yeah.
Because after you do it for so many years, or so much time, it don't take but so much to knock you off your heels again. Because you do a job on your body and you're not able to function like you should be able to function.
Yep.
And that's where I was. And it was about at least, I say 6 months before I started getting better. Because I was able to, I eventually became able to eat properly, and I wasn't drinking anymore. I was afraid to drink at first, and then later on, I didn't want to drink, so I just didn't drink anymore, you know.
You know what? Okay, Henry. This is very interesting. You have to, you've been sober now probably, it has to be 50 years, over 50 years, right?
I think it's 51.
50 years.
Not 51. I did 2 times.
It's 50 something years, Henry. Yep. You remember you said that you used to have to always go to straight and narrow.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the only reason you really stopped was because of the fact that they was going to cut off your Social Security, your disability check.
Yeah.
Right? Unless you went to get yourself together.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah, a lot of people did good things for me, you know, because I was a real bum there for a while. And I kept lying to myself about what I was going to do and wasn't doing it. So I kept getting sicker and sicker and sicker. And when I got so I was seeing things and hearing things, I really had it bad then.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what really made me stop lying to myself and start doing the things that I needed to do. And today, and it's been like this, but my wife and I have been married, but 50-some years.
Yeah.
I think it's 56 or 57. I forgot which one it is, but I know it's somewhere up there in the 50s. Yeah, it's been a long time.
You remember the first meeting you went into?
Yeah.
Didn't you say Bob used to take you? Remember that guy, Bob?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. He used to take me.
He said he used to feel. Did he feel sorry for you?
Yeah. I think
No, he didn't feel sorry for you, man.
I think what it was, he knew that I needed to be there. And I had mentioned it to him that I was going to do something, you know, going somewhere. I didn't know where I was going, but I was going somewhere to get some help. And he started directing me. Well, at first he started talking to me and about what he knew, that where I could go. And that's another reason why I'm still alive today.
Why?
Because I stopped drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stopped drinking. I started eating properly. That plays a major role in your life. You don't think it when you first start doing it. You think you can do what you want to do whenever you want to do it and get by with it.
Yeah.
But it eventually catch up with you, and you're in a hole where you don't know how to get out of it.
So you remember Sheila?
I remember.
Sheila?
I remember all of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You ever think about them? Sometimes I do.
They're all dead now.
Sheila? And I don't think they can't all
No.
be dead, Henry. They can't all be dead like that.
No.
When's the last time you heard from George?
In ages.
Where did he go? He went to Delaware?
I don't know where he went to.
I think it's Delaware, yeah.
It was drug, could have been. I tell you what,
What's
one of
that?
the things that happened to me is once alcohol took over, I lost a lot of stuff up here.
Me too.
You know, like there was a time when I knew where my last penny was, my only penny was. I knew all of that stuff, you know, but
Yeah.
eventually alcohol took all that from me. And I've been blessed to have the wife I got. She treated me like a king because she didn't know the kind of nut I was, you know, because the alcohol caught up with me there too. But through the grace of God. Well, as a matter of fact, I went to
Straight and narrow?
I went straight and narrow for a while, and then I went. I think around that time I started driving again. Yeah, I started driving.
Now, you remember you said Bob used to have to come and pick you up
Yeah.
because you didn't have your license at that time.
Mm.
But then you eventually got your license. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Boy,
But you were still on disability because you was still taking what was that stuff called? Dilantin for the seizures?
Yeah.
Dilantin? Is that whatever it is, right?
It was. I had to drink too much alcohol.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until after I'd been in that hospital for a while that I started to get better, because I eventually started to eat again, and I was relaxing, and I know it had to be through the grace of God that I was able to get out of the mess that I was in, because for a period of time I thought it was over, you know. As a matter of fact, from some of the things I saw happening with other guys, I figured the same thing was going to happen to me.
Like what?
Like with my drinking,
Yeah.
you know. And some of them had stopped drinking. And it was around that time that I made a decision that I need to stop too. But
And you went to AA.
yeah, I went to AA and I did well there. And then I started feeling like something worth living. And it just happened.
You was able to help a lot of people.
Yeah. I was hauling people around like they were my kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing. But once you've been to hell and you're able to recognize that you might be able to help somebody else, plus you'd be able to help yourself trying to help somebody else.
That's how it worked.
Yeah. And I was able to get in that kind of situation and start to live accordingly, you know. As a matter of fact, my wife and I, we jammed. She never did put me down. I know she was sick of me a lot of times, though.
That's the hardest part of it. The people that love you the most, you treat the worst.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was stealing, and it got so that one time I was stealing from her because the little bit I had. Plus, my friends were robbing me.
Out on the street.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bars in Patterson at that time.
Yeah, a whole lot of them. And people, them young guys, were buying liquor like crazy around there. And I was one of them. But through the grace of God, I've been living good. As a matter of fact, I'm feeling good right now, you know. I eat well. I'm active in my church. And I know how to treat my wife today after all them years, you know. Because I even thought about it, if she had treated me the way I treated her,
yeah,
I'd have been gone a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it didn't work out that way, you know. So today I'm thankful, I'm grateful. And I think one of the other things that really helped me a lot when I became able to point the right direction for some of my friends, you know.
Yeah.
Especially the ones that I was able to recognize was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And alcohol, I had learned that alcohol don't discriminate.
Exactly.
It do not discriminate. All you got to do is start throwing it down your throat, and you can look forward to something happening. May not be right away, but it will happen.
You know how old I was? You know how old I was when I met you?
Mm-hmm.
I was 25.
25?
Yeah. 25.
Yeah.
I think I was 20. My memory is the same way, Henry. It's like,
well, that's what alcohol does. It takes it all away.
God, please.
It takes it all away.
Yeah. But I know I was about 25. Yeah. Yep. And you know how old I'll be next month in June?
No.
60.
Wow. You gotta go a while before you get there with me, but
But just like you have, helped a lot of people.
yeah, I'm thankful for
If
that.
if it wasn't for you, me meeting you when I was 25, at that particular time, in the same condition that you was in before,
Yeah.
I was in the same condition. If it wasn't because of the fact that I met you, I wouldn't be here, for sure.
Yeah.
So you got what, 50? You got 50-something years. I know I got about 30. It's 30-something. Yeah, 30. I don't really think about it a lot, but it's 30-something years, Henry.
Yeah.
All because of what AA. I mean, AA was the foundation.
Yeah.
But then, you know, in the beginning, for like people like us, right?
Yeah.
AA is all we have.
Yeah.
You know,
That's all.
because in the beginning, I didn't like go right back to church. Even
No.
I mean, I would pop in every now and then, but I didn't go right back. But eventually, I was able to go back.
Yeah. Would you believe I'm in the church every day I can get in there.
A deacon at that.
Yeah, a deacon. I've been a deacon for, I don't know how, it's been a long time.
A deacon in the church, Henry.
Yeah, a deacon in the church. An active one too, at that. Going out, singing.
Oh yeah, you sing too on the choir. I forget. Yeah.
Whenever we had a program out of town or in town, I was there. Those were the things that really got me up out of what I was in, you know. I was able to recognize that I could get better if I wanted to get better. I just had to do the next right thing one day at a time. And once I started using those kind of thoughts, it made it much easier for me too, you know. I was able to get over on a whole lot of stuff. Plus, I was able to look back at what has happened since I've been there to know that I need to keep being there, you know.
Yeah.
All those things you start to learn, though, if you want to get better. And alcohol is one that'll put the kind of pain on you, but make you want to do that.
Can you imagine what it must be like for the person today that's going through the same thing now? It's completely different today because there's no connection with people today. Like before, there was a connection.
Yeah.
You know, and people cared about people. People weren't so obsessed with themselves.
Yeah.
And now you can't get a person off their phone.
No. But you would think that a person who's been to hell and know what it's all about down there, they would do the next right thing toward a brother or a sister.
Most of the time they do, though, don't you think?
Not anymore, not like they used to be. No. Not like it used to be. If I got my thing together, the heck with you.
Oh, okay.
That's what we got going on now.
Yeah.
But
I guess that is one thing that you do learn, is that if you can help somebody, you help them.
Right.
You know?
And what that does too, it helps you.
Yeah.
It helps you. I feel good once I recognize I had pointed somebody in the right direction.
Yeah.
Was able to give a person $1 or $2, you know.
Yeah.
And I was able to recognize the situation, you know, because there were some people who gave me $1 or $2. And you remember those things, you know.
Yeah. You reap what you sow, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why your life is the way that it is right now, Henry, because you have planted so much, you have done so much good for so many, many people, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people.
But the best part about that thing, it helped me just as much.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
And being able to let a person know that you can get better if you want to be better. That's where it started off with me, that I could get better if I wanted to be better. And I heard it. I was believing it. I didn't know just what I was going to do about it, but
you believed it?
I believed it. Yeah, because he told me where he was. Plus, on some of them, I remember where they was. You know. So all those things help you out. And
you remember the lady Irma?
Yeah, I remember her. Yeah.
She'll straighten you out.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you. It's amazing.
Those were very good people.
Yeah.
I seen her maybe a couple of years ago.
Oh,
I don't know if she's still alive, but
she's not alive anymore?
I don't know. Because she goes to New Christian Missionary.
Oh, okay.
But I remember when they had that meeting over at, remember when St. Joe's used to be over on East 19th Street?
Yeah.
He wanted to throw me out. But she said, no, she said, no, let him stay there. Let that boy stay. Yeah.
They wanted to put you out because
Yeah.
they know you were messed up.
Oh, yeah.
But she did the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like that today. You know, I'm able to recognize that this person is doing the best he can with whatever he got left, you know. But he can get better if you would talk to him and try and point him in the right direction sometimes. It'll help him, plus it'll help you. That's the good part about it. The rest of your families.
Which one? Chris and June. You remember Dave, my older David?
Yeah.
Ain't that something though, E? Ain't that something though, Henry? Think about it. You remember when I came into the program, right?
Yeah.
Then what, maybe 3-4 years later, my brothers came too.
Yeah.
You remember that? And they
Yeah.
stayed. You know? And just think about the difference that has made just on our family. Because we could all just been out there.
Yeah, that's for sure. That is for sure. They say alcohol don't discriminate. All you have to do is indulge yourself, and it'll do the rest.
Yeah, and when you, it's like when you drive in the streets, you see people that are out there.
Yeah. I just saw a big thing on the news yesterday about a guy. He had 3 different kinds of alcohol in his car. And they locked him up.
He was drunk driving?
Mm-hmm. I don't know I don't know. Well, I guess maybe he's just as crazy as you wanted to be, too.
Did he hit somebody or hit something?
The cops saw him.
Oh, and they just pulled him over?
They pulled him over, locked him up.
You remember Travis Finney? Travis and Brenda?
Yeah.
I see Travis on Facebook sometime. I think he lives somewhere.
Anywhere near you?
No. But he's doing okay. He's doing good from what I can tell. When's your birthday? Are you gonna be?
I'm 80. I'm 91 now.
You're 91?
Mm-hmm.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you gotta be. I'm 60.
I didn't just come here. I've been here a long time.
I'm 60. Oh Lord. Oh God.
There was a time when
wow, Henry. I didn't know that. I didn't know. I guess I just didn't really think about that.
Yeah. There was a time you wouldn't know it.
God has blessed your life, Henry.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he has.
Huh?
Yeah, because I pull a whole lot of, I got drag racing and stealing.
Drag racing used to be the thing in Patterson. Huh?
Yeah. I'll do that in a minute.
Did people used to actually race for their cars, for each other's cars?
Yeah.
They did?
Yeah.
And people could lose their car?
Yeah. They could. Most of the time, they're very, very seldom that it got taken away from them, though. Unless one was crazy enough to make some kind of statement like, I'll bet you this, I'll bet you that, you know. Because you had a lot of that, too.
Where would they race? Down at Bunker Hill?
Yeah.
You ever race?
Yeah, I definitely had to race. I thought I was a big time hitter.
Oh yeah. What was your favorite car?
Chevy. I had a Ford once. I had a Ford.
So you used to fix it up like.
Yeah, I kept it. I treat it like it was something new, and it was new to me. You know, 'cause I kept it clean, and I used to, if it started looking bad, painting wise, I'd
Yeah.
do it over. You know, but it didn't take a whole lot of money then.
And so a lot of times you could do the work yourself, right?
Yeah, a whole lot of time.
I remember that station wagon used to take us around, and
Yeah,
what was it? It had 327 in it, right?
yeah,
That thing would go though.
Yeah.
Dual exhaust. I think it had dual exhaust on it.
yeah, it did.
Didn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like that.
And then when you got rid of that, you took the engine out of that and put it in the Nova,
Yeah,
didn't you?
yeah,
And that used to move too.
yeah. It's amazing. And I was driving a lot of those cars when I was drunk.
Yeah. And you're still here.
Yeah. I say, God know how to fix you.
And you didn't kill nobody.
No.
I watched the news and just different things that you see on TV, how people, they go out and they end up killing their friend or killing somebody or, crashing in. And you just think to yourself, but for the grace of God, because of I know I've done a lot of stupid stuff, and I walked away from it.
It's amazing.
But it could have just happened. You could have just killed somebody, and that would have changed everything in your life.
Right away at that
Yeah.
too.
Joe's brother did it, right? What was Joe's brother's name?
I forgot what his name was.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I forget what his name was.
Killed a little girl.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having to live with that?
And there's some people who were crazy enough to kill him too. Because of that.
Oh yeah.
And he got by with it.
Oh yeah. After he got out.
It's amazing.
I didn't realize you was 91, Henry.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, there was a time I didn't think I was going to be here.
I didn't think I was gonna make it to 25. I'm serious. I really did not think that I was gonna make it.
No.
I was just finished. But I look at some of these. I look at these pictures that in your
Yeah.
in your room here.
Yeah.
I mean, God has blessed your life, Henry.
Yeah, that's my wife. And me, that's my son and his mom. And that's the two kids and the mom and me.
And your grandson, the grandson looks just like you now.
Yeah.
What's his name again?
Oh, I can't think his name.
But every time when I first saw him, I said, "Wow, he looks like
Yeah.
he looks like Henry."
We've been tight ever since, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wants my opinion on everything.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
And just think, Henry. Just think what he's gonna bring to the world. Just think about that.
Yeah, he's real smart now
Right?
too.
Yeah, he's a smart guy.
Mm.
He has good parents.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And just like
That's my mother there,
Where?
right there.
With the blue?
Yeah.
Where was she from, Henry?
South Carolina.
Hopkins?
Yeah.
Did she pass away early or something? Was she?
I think, well, she was drinking.
Oh, she was a drinker. She used to drink too.
Yeah.
Wow. What was her name?
Alberta.
Alberta.
Yeah.
What kind of relationship did you have with her?
I used to live with her. Like in Hopkins, South Carolina, I was living with my grandmother.
And that was her mother?
That was her mother-in-law.
Her mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Oh, she used to live with y'all.
No. Once she got married, I don't know where she was living at then. But anyway, she started living there, but every year she would come to see me.
Oh, yeah?
When I was a kid down there. Then she started taking me there. Then her husband, he died. He had retired from the army. And
did she ever come to New Jersey?
yeah, she came here. She was here twice before she died. Her husband died first. Both of them were up in age, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I look at those pictures, Henry, and those were good times, huh?
Yeah.
So you wasn't always like messed up.
No. By the time I got these pictures, I had changed completely then.
Oh, you would start doing the right thing.
Yeah, I was doing the right. I've been doing the right thing for a long period.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's when I was big, before I got skinny like I am.
How did you meet your wife?
Hmm?
How did you meet your wife?
She had moved up here with a brother that was living here no, he was living where on anyway, it was here in Patterson.
Right.
And but before that, she was in Columbia, South Carolina, and then her husband was in the army. So she was with him for a long period of time.
Why would people come here? Like,
Hmm?
why did people come here, Patterson? They wanted to get off the farm?
Well, they're from Georgia. Not Georgia. It's South Carolina.
How did you get that picture of her like that? It's a nice picture.
Right up there?
Of your mother.
Oh. She brought it here one day.
Oh, did she? She
Yeah,
gave that to you?
she used to come and visit.
Oh, yeah? So she was a nice lady.
Yeah,
She was?
yeah, she was nice. She'd get you straight now, if you ain't straight. She would get you straight.
How did she feel about your drinking?
She didn't like that at all. But
No.
she had heard a lot about me from her sister that was still in South Carolina. I mean, not South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina. And she used to come check me out, and I'm still glad and happy that I eventually made a decision to do the next right thing to myself.
So she saw you sober?
Yeah, she saw me sober. As a matter of fact, for a period of time, I used to stay down there. Just before I got married, I used to stay down there. And her husband, he treated me like a king.
You remember what his name was?
I forgot. I forgot what his name was. He was a soldier.
Because I remember at one point you was going to you was going to see your grandmother all the time when she was sick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You was like going there.
She was the one who raised me.
You ever think about her? Do you still think about her?
Yeah, I do.
Hmm?
I do think about her. She's so sweet to me. She'd give me 50 cents, 75 cents sometime. I think she gave me I told her something. I forget what I told her. Anyway, she gave me $10.
$10?
Not $10.
Oh.
I think it was $12.
That's a lot of money.
I was buying something in school. Anyway, I was treated nice all my life until I started mistreating myself.
And it's a miracle that you make it through.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think so?
Yeah, it was a miracle. And the real miracle was I made a decision to do the next right thing for myself. And I started to get better, you know.
You know what, Henry? I wish that I could say that's what I did. I believe that it was the grace of God that.
Oh, he definitely got
because
something.
it wasn't really. If I would have had it my way, I would have rather died. If it was up to me, you know. But it's like I guess he had a bigger plan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you know how I was like.
Yeah, but
and I used to be, or I was like different. At least I felt like I was different, and I was able to survive and still stay here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Still stay in the program, not drink, not drug, and all of that stuff, I was still able to stay here in spite of myself.
Yeah.
Right? That's God.
Yeah, it is.
He had a plan.
He did the same thing for me.
Yep.
He knows how to fix you, what to fix you with.
Yeah. And what to get your attention.
Yes, sir. And eventually I started to get the hope that I needed. And things just change and change and change. And boy, I tell you.
Of course, weren't you able to go back to work after you stopped taking the lunchroom or something?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And you worked at that job, what? You retired from that job.
Yeah. Yep.
And you have really been a benefit in my life. Like all the stuff, like the important stuff in my life, always came to you and got your take on it. And if you said it this way, well, you should look at it like this way, I would look at it like that way. You know what I mean? And for me, I don't really listen to like other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But
I know just what you mean. What happens too, a lot of times too, you become able to recognize who is best for you to listen to because you heard them.
Yeah.
And you believe it. Like it's what I was hearing, like when they told me what can happen and what will happen.
Yeah.
I got the hope that I needed, you know. And then I eventually made a decision to do the next thing that they suggested I do. And all those things got me to where I am today. And the same thing happened for you, you know.
But you were a faithful servant, right? You went years and years and years. Let's talk about how you started making the coffee. And you said you didn't even drink coffee.
Because I was alcoholic.
Don't drink no coffee. I still don't drink coffee, but
I take a little bit now, but I don't drink a lot of it.
Who left you with the coffee pot? Do you remember who it was?
I forgot who it was.
But you made coffee for years.
Yeah.
Years and years and years.
Yeah. I was there on time too.
Yep. Yep.
I knew what was needed.
Yep.
I think God does you that way.
What do you mean?
Like He know how He got you, and He know what the next step to make with you to get you to go and get into whatever you supposed should be, and you know, to get better.
Yeah.
All those things happen that way, but I couldn't see it in the beginning.
Me neither.
Well, I refused to see it. I would hear things. I'd look at the person. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm saying to myself. But I didn't take the time to listen to the person, not the way I should have, you know.
You remember you used to talk about before you got your license back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your son used to have to walk with you to the meetings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all was living on 23rd Street that time?
Yeah.
She's like, Henry, like I told you, I've heard the message thousands of times, because when we would go on commitments, right?
Yeah.
I would have to go with you.
Yeah.
And I would have to sit, right? and listen to the story. So I kind of like know
Yeah.
story. You know what I mean?
But all of those things really help you to be
Yeah.
where you are today, you know, by hearing the things and believing what you hear. Because at first, I didn't trust nobody. You tell me something, you have to show me what you're talking about.
Right, right.
You know, but I was able to hear what you were saying and made a decision to do what you suggest. And that's one of the ways I started to get better too, you know. It's just amazing how you can get out of the hole that you're in if you want to be out of it. Yeah. And I know.
That's good, and that still applies today.
Yes, it does.
Sometimes I find holes.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, like, God blesses our lives.
Yeah, he does.
You know what I
He does.
mean?
He really does.
Even today. I'm like, even today, even with like the roof thing, if you said that that's too much money, that's too much money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we have to do something about that.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that I did this. I'm glad that I came.
I'm glad you came too.
I'm gonna make a DVD so you can have this, and I don't know where it's gonna go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You been going to any program or anything?
Nope.
No.
No. Where can you go?
Well, that's true too.
I mean, there's like, well, now things are going to start to open up again. And
Yeah.
we'll see how that works out. As far as like going to meetings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
No. Last I went to on a Zoom, the Zoom thing, the computer.
Yeah.
I just don't, I ain't really feeling it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I understand.
Looking at people on a little screen and like seeing people that you don't really know. Like for us, it was a routine. You know, you knew who you were going to see, and you knew.
Yeah.
You knew, and you believed that God will use these particular people to say things
Right.
that's going to have an impact on your life if you just shut up and listen to what other people are saying.
Right.
They had a connection to you. You know what I mean? Now
Yeah.
it's like, I don't have that.
If a person is doing okay today, he might just hear you say something and just walk on about his business.
Yeah.
But I thank God that after my wheels start going in the right direction, I was able to listen to what was being said to me. And it made a major difference in my life, you know.
A lot of people will go to you, Henry. A lot of people would talk to you because you would always be there an hour before the meeting is going to start anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And you would notice that there's people that they know that you're going to be there early,
Yeah.
and they make it a point to get there a little early so they can sit down and have their little conversation with Henry. Remember Nate?
Yeah.
Right?
He's still alive?
No.
No. Oh, he kept doing his thing?
No, you remember he had like cirrhosis of the liver or something.
Oh.
You know, after he stopped drinking.
Uh-huh.
Like you say, eventually it just catches up.
Well, yeah, it's
Do
true.
you remember him on what street he used to live on? 16th Street or something?
I don't remember.
Yeah. You know who I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I remember his face.
Yeah. I got to start looking in my book, too,
For what?
so I could remember some faces and names.
Henry, I don't remember names,
No.
and sometimes I don't remember faces. But like you say, it's just from what we have done.
Yeah.
It's just a price that you pay
Yeah.
for doing the things that you did.
Yeah.
I smoked a lot, I drank a lot,
Mm-hmm.
I did a lot of stuff, took a lot of stuff that I didn't even know what I was really taking.
I even thought I had it going on for a while.
Well, in a way you did. When you look back, you did. But sometimes we don't, when things are good, sometimes we think that they're always supposed to be like that. We don't really appreciate them for what they really are, for what they really are. People, just things that are going on in our lives, we take it for granted until things get bad.
Yeah. For a long period of time, I can remember I refused to be late.
To go to what?
I had to be on time. I wanted to be on time. I didn't want nobody to be late or trying to get in.
Me too. And I'm still that way now. I mean, I try to, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to get there early.
Right.
I'm going to get there early and do what I have to do.
Right.
I don't like for people to be waiting for me.
No,
Where's this guy
I'm
at?
the same way right now, too.
Where's this guy at now?
Yeah. I really enjoyed you, man.
So did I, Henry. I took the day off of this.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Because God works in. I needed a break. I mean, with all of this stuff going on, and
Yeah.
but God has looked out. Like, see, even now, God has looked out for my life. I may not have the best of a job, but it's a good job for. At this point in my life, it's a good job because it's not like I work physically hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of a mental kind of a thing,
Mm-hmm.
But remember, didn't I tell you before when I was working on a recycle truck? Well, you saw me working on a recycle truck.
Yeah, I saw
in the
you.
back of the truck.
Yeah.
I was doing that. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
Dumping them beer bottles, and I said, Lord, Lord, but I had to do that.
Yeah. You had to do what you had to
Having
do.
beer bottles and stuff splashed on me, it was horrible.
Yeah.
But I know the choice. But then God opened up a way for me to do what I'm doing now, which is good. I'm able to a certain degree, I'm able to help people in a way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm still able to help and still do what I do. Do this.
Mm-hmm.
And even this has changed now too. But I don't know. Who knows where this is gonna go? But I know that I have no complaint.
No, same thing here.
God has been good. You hear old people say, God has been good to me.
There was a period that I used to walk around. I used to sit around by myself, and I'd start talking to me. Boy, you really did it this time. You really did it this time.
Yeah.
I had no idea that my life would get to where it is today. I didn't have a hint or nothing that told me my life would get here, but it all started working.
there's a plan that he has, and we're just little people in that plan. It's not our plan, it's his plan, right?
Yes.
But just look at from your mother to you, to your sons, to your daughter, to your grandsons. They all of that. Okay, all of that good stuff. They have all of that.
Yeah.
And they're going to continue. That's going to continue. You know, long after we're gone.
Yeah.
That goodness and all that, the goodness and stuff, is going to go on and on and on.
That's for sure. Yeah.
And God willing, they won't have to go or experience a lot of the stuff that you had to experience. You had to go through. Your life was, your life was hell. You know, think about it.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, just a living hell.
It was a double hell one time. But God can fix it if you want it fixed. You just have to be able to recognize what's being said to you. Read whatever you're able to read. Go to meetings. All those things that are suggested, you know. It'll get you where you need to go. And I remember kind of early in the rooms where they were saying, you can have life if you want a life. But you'll have to learn to do the next right thing one day at a time in order to get there. And I started hearing things like that. And they started to make a lot of sense to me, you know. And I started to live accordingly. I stopped stealing. I started to treat my wife right. My kids were crazy about me because I treat them like they were my toys, you know. And today I'm thankful for that because they treat me like I'm a king today. And there was a time when they were ashamed to see me because well, you know what alcohol does for you, it embarrass you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know that that feeling from that on the inside. Only an alcoholic knows that. I'm serious.
I know that too. Because the alcoholic is the only one that go through something like that.
Right. And that is just something that, you know, it's horrible.
Yeah. Yes, it is. But today I'm so thankful, I'm grateful. I can hear what somebody say today and let them know tomorrow or some other days later what they said or what they should have said. All those things are important to me today, you know. And sometimes I think about it with this life of mine, because I didn't think it would ever get to where it is. And here I am today living like a king. I got a trip. I got to get my driver's license back now.
What happened to your license, Harry?
Well, they
expired?
They expired. And they want more money for it. But what I think I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to get me some a piece of transportation that's in pretty good shape. And if it's around $1,000, a little bit less, either a little bit more, I'll be able to get it. And this way I'll be able to make my meetings like I've been making them, you know.
Yeah, so you're able to drive?
Yeah, I'm able to drive.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to do that. Because I still want to go to meetings, you know. The only thing is we don't have no meetings around here now.
There's none of them to go to.
No.
At least not now, anyway. But
No.
they're going to be opening back up.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're opening everything else back up.
Mm-hmm.
And in a way, I guess I'm kind of glad about that because it'll give me an incentive to go.
Yeah.
Now when I could have went, like I didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I didn't go. Other things were so important.
Yeah.
Other things were more important.
Yeah.
But now, not having it going for a while, you miss it.
Yeah.
I know I do.
But it's so wonderful when you're able to recognize and live according to what you're recognizing. You know.
You remember Jimbo? Jimbo always asks me about you.
Yeah.
Every time I see him. From over in Montclair.
Yeah.
He lives in Newark now, but
Yeah.
I see him, off and on. Like say, maybe if I'm in Newark or something, or at whatever that fish place is in, what's the name of that fish place on Bloomfield Avenue? I forget.
I haven't been there in ages.
I forget the name of it.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to start working on it because I definitely need to
be able to get out.
Yeah. And anywhere I tell my wife I want to drop me off or take me somewhere, she'll do it. But I'm sick of that now.
Right. Right.
I want to be able to do what I want to do whenever I want to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
You're a driver.
Yeah.
So what you think you would get? What kind of car would you look for?
I thought about getting a decent Chevrolet.
Chevy.
Yeah.
A lot of the new cars are nice. Too nice.
Yeah. I saw some the cars, but they don't look too strong or nothing.
No, they're cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good looking car. But
it was a Chevy what?
I don't know what kind of Chevy it was. It was a Chevy. The last one I looked at.
Just something to get you around.
Yeah. I want to be able to go where I want to go when I want to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there were some people sick that I would have wanted to, would have gone to see them.
But do the deacons still visit the people in the hospital? No, I guess not, no.
No, we're not doing much visiting now.
Right.
We don't have a lot. As a matter of fact, tomorrow is Thursday, right?
No, tomorrow is Saturday.
Tomorrow's Saturday? Oh,
yeah.
My God. Boy, I'm wrong.
I get like that too, Henry. Don't sweat it. I'm serious. I'm serious. I do. Sometimes I don't even know what day it is.
Yeah,
People have to remind me, but
it's going to be because like I've been able to go to church every week, my wife and I and some other people, but eventually the church is going to open up again,
Yeah.
And I want to be able to go there when I got ready and do what I want to do, and I enjoy it. I enjoy singing today, so I know I'm going to do a lot of that stuff.
The churches, they've done a lot of work on your church. It looks very, very nice, beautiful.
You look inside of it lately?
State of the art. I was there one time on the inside.
Yeah.
State of the art now.
And it's still doing more stuff to it. Yeah. So our pastor, we got a new pastor.
I met him before.
And young guy.
Yeah.
But so far he's doing dynamite work, and he's an on-time person. That's what I like too. I hate somebody tell me they're going to be here at 10 o'clock and don't show up to 11:15 or something like that.
I don't like that.
No. But so far, he's been on time. The days that he's supposed to be there, he's there, and he's there on time. And he's just been a dynamite person.
So do you think that the church is ever going to be like it used to be? I mean, people now.
No, I don't think it's going to ever be that just like it used to be.
You know what I mean, right? Church was.
Yeah.
I grew up. I grew up going to church.
I did too.
We grew up in the church.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just a part of life. And I guess that kind of helped me too.
Yeah.
Gave me like a kind of like a foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Gave me a conscience.
Yeah.
But it just seems like things are just so different now.
Yeah, people stop. Well, they stop because of the weather and the condition that the area was in, you know. But now they're holding back on everybody that you're getting it up together later on. I've been able to go to church every Sunday.
So do they like social distance in the church?
Yes,
they
social
do.
Distance. Because
can regular people come to church?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think that we've. I don't know. I can't really think of anything else. What about you?
No, not really.
What time is it now? Wait. It's like almost 3 o'clock. What time did I? It's like 2:45.
2:45.
Yeah, so we've been here about 2 hours then.
Yeah.
Almost 2.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
We start talking and.
So what are you going to do for the rest of the day?
I don't know.
You still be doing a little work around the house?
Yeah, I got. As a matter of fact, I got to take care of this side of the house here, and this side of the house, and then I got to get. I'm gonna have to have that done. My driveway.
What, paved?
Yeah. I want to put everything together the way I want it to be.
Well, I'm gonna get some. I might take a picture. You have like a. No.
All right.
I didn't ask you. I didn't really ask no questions. Well, that's okay. It wasn't supposed to go that way. But I'm glad that I came out.
I'm glad you did too.
You know, and we got a chance to talk.
Yeah.
I got a chance to actually see your mother. That's like a painting.
Yeah.
If you need a ride, Henry, just call. Because I'm around.
Okay.
It's not like I'm hanging out someplace. I'm home. If I'm not home, I'm at work. If I'm not at work, I'm home. Alberta. And this is your wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mr.
That's the wife there.
Henry Richardson.
That's Henry again.
This was cool, Henry. Hmm.
That's my father-in-law and mother-in-law up there.
Oh, is it? Hmm.
Both of them died recently.
Did they?
Grandson.
And this is your granddaughter?
Yeah.
This is Nigel, right?
Yeah.
Where's he at, in Georgia?
That's Nigel, and that's his
Is he
baby
here or
brother.
is he in Georgia?
That's his baby brother. Wait a minute. No, I
Is he
think
here? Or is he
he's here now.
He was going to school in Georgia, right?
Yeah,
You should have finished by now, didn't
yeah.
he? You finished?
He still go down there.
Oh, he does.
Mm-hmm. But he's up here in Jersey somewhere. They gave him a job here somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's a young dude, but he's really smart.
Is he?
He's a singer.